Oh God, here we go again. Look, I get it. Star Wars has always been used in commercials, but we're not talking about Dixie Cup, Pepperidge Farm cookies, or Campbell's soup here. These are car commercials. I feel like every time I see this ad, or any of these ads for that matter, year after year, I die a little bit inside. I mean, I die. Now, what is up with this chick in this commercial? I mean, come on, I've had Star Wars on the brain for 40 years, but I've never almost rear-ended another car. The only thing I've learned from this commercial is that as long as you have automatic safety features on a car, it's completely okay to be a shitty driver. That and Star Wars has now become a complete and utter sellout. I need a shower.
Knick-Knack's Plastic Planet with your host, it's Knick-Knack!
Hey, welcome back to the Plastic Planet. I am your host, Knick-Knack. As you know, the holiday season is well upon us, and between buying holiday gifts and some rather expensive automotive repairs I've had to do recently, I've had to take a little bit of a cut out of my collecting budget. But that hasn't stopped me from getting some very fine things I want to show off to you guys today. First and foremost, I want to highlight and showcase off this. I pre-ordered this like 7 months ago. Totally forgot I did it. And then it kind of showed up in the mail the other day. And it got charged on my credit card. But that's okay, because it is awesome. I'm really glad to have it. And we're going to unbox it for you here tonight. That is this Superman versus Doomsday DC Icons figure set. So I'm going to show off that to you guys today. And I got some other little surprises too. Hopefully this will be a little shorter episode. Last week's episode was really kind of long. And hopefully, so we're going to kind of shoot for it to be a little bit shorter tonight. But still some really good stuff on the way. So, all right. Glad you're here, and let's get to it.
Alrighty, now a little bit of personal history on this. I was raised by an English professor. And as a consequence of that, I really didn't get to read comic books when I was much younger. In fact, I didn't really get to even read comic books until I was in middle school and high school. So I didn't really read a lot of Superman comics growing up. The reason I'm such a big DC fan is because of the Superman motion picture starring Christopher Reeve, and then of course later on the Michael Keaton Batman films. So that was really my exposure to comic book pop culture, so to speak, not necessarily the comic books themselves. So this was one of the first major DC comic graphic novels I ever got, and I got it my junior year in high school for Christmas. I think by that point my mother knew I was a lost cause, so she finally let me have a comic book, willingly anyway. So I got this as a stocking stuffer, this comic book, for Christmas that year, and I read it on Christmas morning and was just mesmerized by it. And just this comic had just such balls to it. I mean, this creature, this Doomsday just goes and kicks the shit out of the entire Justice League, and then Superman shows up, and he fights his ass off with him, and he's bleeding, and his iconic suit is torn to shit, and this thing is like, the harder Superman punches him, the more these bones come out, and these sharp bone spurs, and they're fighting so hard that the glass is coming off the Daily Planet. And in one final death blow, Superman and Doomsday both die at the same time. While the Justice League and Martha and Jonathan watch on the TV, and Lois holds him in his arms, and Superman dies. I mean, that took balls. I mean, I get it. In a more cynical approach, it was just designed to sell, comic books around a comic book title that wasn't doing that great and had kind of gotten stale. But still, this was groundbreaking to me. So naturally, I had to get this figure set. Alrighty, so first off, here's the box. Nothing really to note here. It's okay. It's very fits within the DC Icons product line. So it's just got here's the back. I mean, it's nice. Not too shabby, but nothing really to write home about. Now there is a slip cover on this guy that comes off, and you get a little bit more detail on it. If I can actually get it off. There it is. So you get some rubble and some debris there. You get to see the characters a little bit better, the action figures. Some more debris. There's the back, and then this is probably the coolest part with the Superman's flag hanging off there. Such a great iconic comic book from the early 90s. Yeah, I just can't. It's pretty cool. That's why I got this. Plus, I really wanted a Doomsday in my collection. I didn't have the patience to do the Build-A-Figure that the Multiverse did a few months ago, just because I don't want to collect a bunch of crappy figures I don't want. So I went with this one, which I think was a pretty good choice. So let's get this guy open. Alrighty, so first impressions upon opening this box. First of all, if you open the box very carefully, as you can see, and kind of unfold it really nice, you can get this really cool backdrop for your figures, which I've done, so you can build a really nice diorama with that. That's just a nice quality ad, if you ask me. So that's fantastic. I am all about that. I love dioramas, so that's really cool. Here's the base, and it comes with all these different, and that's going to fall over, but it comes with all these different concrete slabs you can put on it and arrange them. There's a lot of them here. So you can really kind of do whatever you want. So that's really cool. There's a lot of, like I said, there's a lot of display options here. Comes with the iconic cape flapping in the wind, just like the comic book. That's cool. Two different Superman heads. You got the fighty Superman head, and then I guess you got the unconscious or dead Superman head. That's kind of depressing. Still cool. Doomsday himself looks pretty good. Nice size. He's got the bone protrusions, really nice. Some of these bone shards are really cool. Very sharp. Figure feels a little stiff. That always makes me nervous whenever I get a new figure. I had really bad luck with the NECA Superman, Christopher Reeve Superman. The first time I tried to pose him, I actually broke his leg off, so that sucked. But these feel pretty good. There's other reviews out there that are going to give you a better detail of how these things are, but I just want to give you more of an impression. And I don't get this stuff sent to me or anything, so I buy all this stuff on my own. Obviously, I'm a tiny channel, and so I'm going to have some bias whenever I review anything, because honestly, I've already spent money on it, and I'm probably not going to sit here and tell you it's a piece of shit unless it really is a piece of shit. So there's some bias here because I've got an investment going here, but really nice actually so far. I'm really impressed with this. So I'm going to get a few poses going and show you guys that, and we'll wrap this up. Alrighty, so again, as you can see, this set is an amazing looking diorama. I mean, just like in the comic books, you got them, they're hitting each other so hard that the windows in the Daily Planet are shattering, and it came with these great little comic book effects with the word effects from the comic book. There's this one, and it comes on a little stand that you can put on the display base. Comes with that one, and I'm not even going to try to read what the hell that says, boom or whatever. And then it came with this one as well, crack-a-toom. So that's really cool. The hitting effects are really nice. This is really cool. The splintering out starburst effect as Superman's punching Doomsday so hard there. Really cool. My only complaint so far is the stand itself is so kind of small. Doomsday's a big dude, and Superman, and to get in a real dynamic pose that I found pleasing on the stand was a little bit hard. But Doomsday's got such big clogging feet that he actually can support Superman. So you can get them off the display base and pose them by themselves. And you got all these cement blocks that you can use just to kind of fill it out. I mean, here I have them on a table here, but boy, I think that looks absolutely super duper. So there is that. That is really cool. Very happy with that. Oh boy. All right. So this is never a good sign. So I took the head off. I was going to change out the head to get the dead Superman head on there. And I could not for the life of me get the head back on this figure. And maybe other people have better luck with this stuff than I do. But I'm not going to risk breaking this stem here to get this head back on. So no, I'm not making spaghetti. I'm softening up this plastic on this head to get it onto the figure easier. I hate doing this stuff, and I'm sure you do too. There's nothing worse. You got a brand new figure, and you want to try out all the accessories, and you got to put it in scalding hot water to get the plastic softened up so that you don't ruin it. Hopefully, maybe that did it. Let's see. Yep, that got it. Yep, now he's on. So, yeah, you're going to have to soften this guy up a little bit maybe. But there he is. It's on now. that worked. Ugh, nerve-wracking, nerve-wracking. All right, so again, lots and lots of display options you can do with this thing. Came with a second sharded cape that you can kind of fit around Doomsday's claws. You kind of have to have him holding it up a little bit for it to hang on there. But, you know, you can do other really cool looking display things. Of course, again, all that debris that they give you lots and lots of display options. Again, kind of disappointed I'm not able to utilize the base itself for this, but still with the whole diorama, I mean, looks fantastic. Absolutely awesome. Okay, so not to fear, the Man of Steel is back up on his feet, and while the Superman action figure in this set is very, very posable, I'm really finding the Doomsday is not. He's really lumbery and cumbersome, and the joints don't bend real far. Yeah, I noticed other reviews online kind of said the same thing about him. And again, that base just doesn't seem to get it done. And the little pegs they provide you, you only get one hole per figure in the bottom of the feet. So, as you can see, only one hole. So it doesn't quite get it done. And also, if you didn't notice that heat vision also doesn't want to stick on Superman's face very well. I mean, it's really cool, and the colors are great, and the impact effects are great, but doesn't want to sit on his face real well either. So that's not exactly the sturdiest thing. So again, man, overall, this is a great set, and the diorama possibilities for this are amazing. But you're going to find some limitations in the posing. At least I do. And maybe I'm not the best at posing figures. I will be the first to admit that. But I would say I might be slightly better than average. But, you know, so anyway, that could be a challenge. But again, awesome. Absolutely awesome set. All right, so there it is one last time. I got mine very precariously balanced there using that transparent plastic rod they give you as sort of a improvised support structure there, and I've got the little cardboard artist effect up there, precariously balanced. So again, I mean, it looks really cool. A lot of display options. Again, the posability can be a little bit challenging on this, and when you get it right out of the box, make sure to loosen some of those joints up very carefully, because there's a possibility of some snappage there. But other than that, really, really awesome. I got mine from online from Big Bad Toy Store. Not to give them an unpaid plug, but that's where I got mine. I think it retails somewhere between $60 and $70. So yeah, there it is. Looking really cool. Love it. So if you're a big fan of that particular comic, as I am, you will love this too. Welcome to bonus time. This week's bonus time is sort of special for me. I finally did it, guys. I finally did it. Just like a drunk girl at a Dave Matthews concert hanging around the porta potties, I finally broke the seal. That's right, guys. I finally got some pop figures. And what other kind of pop figures would I get but none other than Pac-Man? Now, I know these have been out for quite a while now, and I actually dug them up on Amazon, but I just decided I had to have some Pac-Man figures in my collection. Because I tell you what, there is nothing cooler than Pac-Man, in my opinion. Now, you know, I was a child of the 80s, and I grew up doodling Pac-Man all over my notebooks from first grade probably through sixth. And I love that guy. And I love playing Pac-Man. I have a Pac-Man app on my phone that I play non-stop. It is amazing. They update the mazes daily. It looks great. It's fun. They keep it fresh as hell. I highly recommend it. Actually, it's put out by Nameco itself. So that is awesome. But, you know, these pop figures are really cool too. And what's really cool about them is, you know, some of these pop figures really look like generic cheap crap to me, and so I've kind of stayed away from them. But these guys are really cool because they got these transparent stands. The ghosts have that feeling of floating, and they have a really nice feel to them. They feel a little heavy. And another cool thing about them is that they really kind of match the personalities of the ghosts really, really well. I mean, Inky is just kind of happy-go-lucky. Clyde is dopey. Pinky is kind of dumb. And Blinky is a serious asshole and will hunt you down and kill you. And, of course, there's the man himself, Pac-Man. So there's two more figures in this line that I may pick up. That's Miss Pac-Man. And then, of course, they have the vulnerable ghost, you know, when you eat the power pellet and he turns all blue and vulnerable. So may get him too. But, again, really, really cool stuff. Yeah, love me some Pac-Man.
Alrighty, so that is it for this episode of The Plastic Planet. I really hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed having you with me, enjoyed unboxing that great Superman Doomsday figure. Man, it's a great time of year, isn't it? As the holiday season is upon us, and I tell you what, we are just barfing up St. Nicholas all over the place in this house this week, and it's great. It's a good thing. We love decorating for Christmas, as you can see. We try to really aspire to make our home look like a shopping mall right out of 1985, and I think we do that magically. So, anyway, that's it from the Plastic Planet. Please like and subscribe. Love you guys. Keep buying shit, and have a great week. Till next time.
Oh God, this stuff just burns. It burns like you're being tapped in the forehead by Lucifer's manhood.